Hey there. Good morning. Father Michael here. The year was 312 CE, and the Western Emperor Constantius had just died, leaving several sons and a few other people in contention for the title of Roman Emperor. And Constantine the Great, as he would later be called, was one of Constantius's sons. And in fact, his father's army had already proclaimed Constantine emperor, and so they were behind him 100%. But there were other people who were claiming to be the rightful emperor, including this annoying dude named Maxentius. He claimed he had the right, and furthermore, since Constantine was off in Gaul, which, is modern-day France, Maxentius had already installed himself as the rightful emperor in the western capital city of Rome. Well, eventually, Maxentius provokes Constantine into open conflict, and Maxentius was defeated in two fairly significant battles on the plains of what is now Italy. Finally, the two armies facing off on either side of the Tiber River at that now famous Battle of the Milvian Bridge. And it was here at this site that Constantine had a vision that would change the world forever. Now, before he had this vision, Constantine had already toyed with the idea of converting to Christianity. But he really wasn't all that passionate about the idea. And the historian Eusebius tells us that one day, while he was in front of his tent with his officers and his assembled troops all around him, he had a vision of an enormous flaming cross in the heavens. And on one side of the cross, written in Greek, the words, "By this sign you will conquer." The words are, as they have come down to us, are in Latin, "In hoc signo vinces." In this sign, conquer. IHS. Well, Constantine was astounded by this vision, and Eusebius tells us that he stood there watching this cross in the sky until it finally faded away. He didn't understand really what the meaning was until later that night when he had a dream, and in the dream, the living Christ appeared to him in dazzlingly white robes. Apparently, he likes that attire. And he's holding a cross in his hands, and he says to Constantine explicitly, "You will be victorious over all your enemies if you make my cross your standard." Well, the rest, as they say, is history, and it's the reason why the letters IHS are often found on crosses in most churches around the world. But what is the practical value in that vision now? For us, for me. What is the value? Where is that great flaming cross of wonder and power shining to light up the dark night sky for me, for you? And why can't I ever catch a break from carrying those damn crosses that I don't want? I do not prefer them. I do not want them. In Luke 9, it says, Jesus is speaking, whoever wants to be my disciple has to deny themselves, pick up their cross on the daily, and follow after me. Okay, that's a great one-liner. And if we're talking about a shining, golden, flaming cross of power in the sky, I'm all about it. I am on that like a fat boy on a donut. But that ain't how it goes. I never get the cross that I can handle, the cross of power and flaming beauty and all of that. I mean, why can't I, for once, carry a cross of my choosing? Like, for example, why can't I carry the cross of being surrounded by people who cannot speak? Like a whole population of people who are mute. What a cross I could joyfully accept if that were the case. Because I'm an extrovert, I can talk longer than most living humans. Ask any of my former students. I can talk longer than they can remain conscious. I will carry that cross. No problem. Why can't I carry the cross of having to eat steak and prime rib every day? Every day. And I could even skip the salad. There's a cross I could get behind 110%. Come on, God, work with me here. What if I had to carry the cross of only driving Italian sports car convertibles in the Virgin Islands where it's always 80 degrees and sunny? Please, God, let me carry that cross. Where is my freaking shining, flaming cross of power in the damn sky? In other words, the perfect cross. Well, about that. The thing is this. The crosses that we are expected to carry are not perfect, and they are not shining, and they are not flaming crosses of power and might and glory. They are a lot like the cross of Jesus. They are imperfect, and they are rough-hewn, and they are, they are heavy. Heavier sometimes than we ever imagined we would be able to carry. And there are splinters carrying that damn cross. Splinters that will cut us and wound us and make us bleed all along the way. The cross that we're asked to carry, the cross that I am asked to carry, because I'm no different, straight up, they're the last damn crosses we would ever choose. And they lead in only one direction, to Calvary, where one day, one of those annoying, rough-hewn, imperfect, heavy as hell crosses is going to take us out of this life. Kind of a heavy thought for a Monday morning. The only perfect cross for Jesus took his life in an offering of self-sacrifice, of non-violent resistance to the power of the Roman Empire, showing us something significant. It is in dying on the cross that we find the gateway to something else, to a different kind of life, to a transfigured life, a different realm, a different consciousness. So the only perfect cross, really, for you, for me, is that cross that's going to help me and you die to our old trifling selves to help us put that person aside and live into the next better version of ourselves in service of God's dream for humanity. You can call that whatever you want. God's dream, the kingdom, it's all the same thing. Is that going to be easy? Man, you already know. It's going to hurt. Like, a lot. It's going to someday perhaps cost us everything that we hold precious and dear in this life. But just like in Jesus' case, on that Good Friday, Easter was beyond imagining. That was like outside the box, outside the realm of possibility. Can't even imagine that on Good Friday. So too for every single one of our Good Fridays, yours and mine. This shit is hard. This life is a struggle sometimes. These crosses are heavy. Just like Jesus, the Christ, our response needs to be humble, willing, and patient, so we can just take one little step forward every day. There's no perfect cross. There's no perfect life. There's no perfect way to take the step forward. We just do our best. Please pray with me. Loving, mighty God, we come into your presence in this moment. Many of us struggling to stay on our feet because of the weight of the crosses we bear. Help us today to be a little more patient, to have no expectation, but that we will get through this day by the power of your love. Help us to keep the cross of Jesus in mind, remembering how heavy it is, but also rejoicing that somehow all of this struggle is going to lead us to new life, to a victory, to a deep connection with you that will last forever. And as difficult as it might be for us today, help us to remember, in hoc signo vinces, in the sign of the cross of Christ, we will be victorious. Amen. God bless you today.